everybody. It's me, Timmy Flyers Guy, a.k.a. the Philly Underdog, a.k.a. the Philly Delight, a.k.a. full-time Flyers fan here with another episode of the Orange and Black Recap. I got a lot to say. I know a lot of people have a lot to say because every time this team loses, everybody has a lot to say. Mostly negative, some positive. It's a mixed opinion. Before I get into that, I want to recap last night's Philadelphia Flyers Calgary Flames game. This is going to be a very quick recap. In that game, Flyers were only able to get a goal in that game. Travis Konecny had the only goal in that game. It was a 5-0 loss to the Calgary Flames last night. Not the best way to start the new year. Let's be real about that. Not the best day. Not the best way to start off 2026. But things happen. What are you going to do about it, And there's a lot of people that have been telling me that this team has been playing really good. That this team has a chance to be a postseason team this year. I don't know about that yet. Still got a ways to go, but a lot of people are saying some good things about this team. And of course, there's a lot of people that are saying negative things about this hockey team. But I drown the negative people out. It was a tough loss last night. Like I said, not the best way to start 2026. Let's be real about that. I'm being real about that. But I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sulk. I'm not going to let it ruin my day. Because, something? There are going to be other games. There's going to be another chance for this team to bounce back. There'll be tough loss this season. I gotta tell you, I gotta be real. There are some things that I cannot stand about today's NHL. Number one, the way the playoffs are formatted, I can't stand that. You have to be the top 4 teams to make the playoffs, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I feel like there's no build-up to the playoff series. Because I remember when it used to be the top 8 teams made the playoffs. And that was fine. That was fine. It was great because back then you had more of a storyline. Not that doesn't hockey need storylines or anything like that. But it has a good story to it. Because it's like, I feel like when you're an 8th place team that makes the playoffs, you're the underdog. And that's what made it so special. And of course, Gary Bettman and this NHL, they have to change everything. They always have to change everything. Number 2, shootouts. I hate shootouts. Whoever created shootouts needs to get punched in the face. Because shootouts are one of the stupidest things that have ever happened. You don't even need shootouts in the playoffs, so what's the whole point of having a shootout in the NHL? Here's my plan. Go back to having tie games. What is so bad about that? Why is it so bad? I've seen some games back in the day. I've seen some games that the Flyers have played. There were tied games. There were games where you see the Flyers come back, get the tie, and get a point. That's how it should be. Shootouts are stupid. They're the stupidest thing I have ever seen. They're okay in World Juniors. They're okay in Olympic hockey. They're even fine in the World Cup or the Nations. But not in a regular season hockey game. It's ridiculous. Number 3, the NHL logo. The stupid silver and black NHL logo. I hate that logo. That logo was an assassination to our childhoods. And you know why? Because the orange and black NHL logo was a great logo. It was a logo that many of us grew up with. A lot of people do not know about that orange logo and how great it was. There are people in this generation that don't know about the logo. They're used to the silver and black NHL logo. And that's fine. But back in my day, we all grew up with the NHL logo. If you were a kid in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, then you know what that orange and black logo was all about. And so I gotta say, those are the 3 things that I hate about today's NHL. And I'm gonna say it right now, I feel like the NHL, they like to toy with us. They like to mess with our team. They like to screw over the Philadelphia Flyers. And I get it. This is a team. This is a league that goes out of their way every single year to make sure that the Flyers don't make the playoffs. Why else did they change the playoff format? I'll tell you why. To keep the Flyers out of the playoffs. Another thing, Gary Bettman. That man is terrible. Do you know why there were 2 lockouts? Because Gary Bettman, he realized that if we have a lockout, we can hamper the Flyers' chances of making the playoffs. 2004 was an exception because that was a league-wide lockout that lasted all season. 2013 only lasted until 2013, the year after that. Another thing that I don't like, how come the teams that are behind us, how come they have opponents that are pushovers? How come the Washington Capitals had to play the Rangers yesterday? How come the Washington Capitals had to play Ottawa? Yeah, I don't know. Ottawa's a pushover weekend. Alexa, what is the record of the Ottawa Senators?
Here's what I found.
Alexa, what is the record of the Alexa, what is the record of the Ottawa Senators?
Here you go.
Damn it. Alexa.
Let me help you out. Alexa, what is the record of the Ottawa Senators?
This season.
This season, the Ottawa Senators have a record of 18 wins, 15 losses, and 5 overtime losses. They are in 8th place in the Atlantic Division with 41 points.
See, I don't get it. Why are you giving the Capitals last place teams? You're giving this, there's no team an easy opponent to play. 2 easy opponents to play. That's ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying you should do the same with us, but I'm saying, why do you give the Capitals such easy opponents? It's ridiculous. And I'm really getting tired of the NHL disrespecting the Flyers. The same team that helped the NHL against the Soviet Red Army team in '76. And you know what? The Philadelphia Flyers never got a thank you for that. Nobody ever thanked the Philadelphia Flyers for beating the Soviet team in 1976. Nobody ever thanked them for that. Nobody ever thanked them. Well, they did. But nobody thanked the Philadelphia Flyers for taking care of business. Let's be real here. In '76, the NHL was getting decimated by the Soviet Red Army team. Teams were getting beat by this team. And the Flyers were the team that bailed out the NHL. And the Flyers never ever got a thank you from the league. Because what I see is a bunch of petty, stuck-up, suit-wearing jackasses that have no respect for anybody. And that's what I don't like about the NHL. I do not like Gary Bettman, Mr. 2-time NHL lockout, Mr. Let's keep expanding the NHL, and let's keep adding more teams just to make things even more complicated for other teams. That's all I gotta say about that. Another thing I don't like about the NHL is back-to-back hockey games. Enough with the back-to-backs. They're ridiculous. They're ridiculous. Why would you do that? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Back-to-back games are ridiculous. Another thing. West Coast road trips after the holidays. Ridiculous. I hate that. I hate West Coast road trips after the holidays. Enough is enough of that. West Coast road trips, they're okay in mid-season, not after the holidays. My opinion, if you're going to have what they should have done, is what they did before the Christmas break. Have 2 games before the break, and have 2 games after the break. And then have teams take a little break in between and have them come back home for a homestand. That's just how I feel about that. It was a tough loss. I know a lot of people have negative things to say. I know there are people that say this team doesn't deserve to do this team doesn't deserve that, this team can't buy a win. I heard it all before. And you know what? It's getting really old. It really is. This whole negativity act is getting old. All these amateur stand-up comedians out there that want to talk about the Flyers. It's getting old. Haters gonna hate. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say, you know. I don't care what the doubters say. Because the doubters, they fuel my fire. The doubters, they make me feel more determined. So keep being negative. You keep being negative, I'll shut her up. You keep being negative, I'll counter it. with my positivity. And that's all I gotta say about that. Guys, I'll see you on Sunday when I recap the Philadelphia Flyers and the Oilers game. That's gonna be a tough challenge, but I believe in my team, and I'm gonna keep believing in my team. That game will be at 3:30 p.m. I think I might recap that game after the game, or I might recap that game on Sunday. We'll see what happens. Guys, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Like always, no matter what, the full time Flyers fan will never give up.